boxes every week through the Farmers to Family Food Box program, as well as people all over Western North Carolina. And I'm so thankful for that program. You know, I think I used to take food on the table for granted. Well, I don't anymore. And there's a verse I think about a lot, especially after a disaster. And it's Romans 8:28, and it says, "In all things God works for good." God is a good God, and God's always working for good. And God calls us to work for good in the lives of hurting people. You know, the COVID crisis, because of the COVID crisis, many families across our state are struggling. They're struggling to meet basic needs, including putting food on the table. Being involved in the Farmers to Families Food Box program has given me a much greater appreciation for our farmers and what they do to feed us all. They're some of our most essential workers. And I'm also incredibly thankful for the USDA and the work they're doing to help farmers and to help feed hungry people across our state and our nation. As one of the faith-based groups involved in this program, I hear many stories about the food boxes and the difference that they're making in people's lives. A pastor recently told me about the blessing he had helping put food on the table of those greatly affected by COVID-19. Those that are shut-ins, those that are economically challenged, those who've lost a job, those who are suffering in so many different ways. A waitress who had lost her job, grandparents raising their grandchildren were able to feed their family because of this program. Many who are struggling are those who don't like asking for help, but they needed it during these times. There are also stories of individuals who don't have much, but they'll share what they have by taking that precious box and sharing it with somebody else that they know needs it. For many, it's not just a box of food, it's not just a box of produce, it's a box of hope and love. Well, there's so many people to thank for making this program work for millions of people. Thank you, farmers who are here today. Thank you, volunteers who are here that help distribute these boxes in 200 different places across our state, and mostly churches, but also community centers and senior centers are getting these boxes and passing them out in their communities. Thank you, those volunteers. Thank you, USDA. Thank you, Secretary Perdue. Thank you, Advisor to the President, Ivanka Trump. And thank you, Mr. President.